What's going on, people? It's been a while, well, no, it hasn't really been a while. Anyways, I got some responses on the video I made about sexual double standards, and it got me thinking. A lot of people don't agree with it, and some people do. Um, and I was thinking of a good analogy to use to explain it better. I made a video on the subject earlier, and where I kind of explained why men feel that the double standard is right and women don't. But I figured I'd make a quick video and really just break it down so that it will be simple, so that girls can understand why such double standard exists. Ladies, you know, some of you get very frustrated because you feel that you're being unfairly judged for doing something that many guys do. But here's the point. When talking about sex, it's different for men and women. And what I mean is the access to the sex is what's different. In economics, we have what we call supply and demand. The value of a product or a service is determined by the supply of that product or service and the demand for it. If there's a lot of demand but very little supply, the value goes up. If there's a lot of supply but very little demand, the value goes down. Sexually, it is the same thing. Women have easy access to sex. Sex with men is very accessible. It's very easy to get. There's a surplus supply of men out there willing to have sex with you. Therefore, it is not considered a big deal for a girl to sleep with many men because men are easy to get anyway. For men, on the other hand, sex with women is seen as the opposite. There's a lot of demand for it, but there is not always the supply for it because women have the sexual power. It's a woman that determines whether the man is going to get laid at the end of the night, not the man. And this is due to many reasons, gender stereotypes and societal constructs and expectations, but that's a whole different topic. But basically, that's really what it is. It's all about supply and demand. So when a girl gives it up easily to every man that comes along for it or shows very little moral judgment in the way she has sex with people, she doesn't get respect for it because a woman knows that it doesn't really take anything to sleep with a guy. You make yourself available and the guy will sleep with you. So a woman that does it a lot doesn't get respected because it's abusing something that is already in surplus supply. But when a man manages to get a lot of females, he gets respected because the supply doesn't match the demand. The supply is limited while the demand is almost endless. So any guy that is successful at getting his demand met gets respect. I don't see it as a double standard. I see it as simple mathematics. You know, it's the same with many other things. If I sell something and you sell the exact same thing, but the way I market it makes mine look more valuable than yours, I get respect and you won't. Because I make my product more valuable by controlling the supply of it. While your product, despite being just as good as mine, if not better, doesn't have any value because it's too easily accessible. Now, if men and women had equal access to sex and equal sexual power, then yes, you could talk about a double standard. But for a man to have that kind of access, he has to reach a certain level of wealth or have a lot of status, meaning fame or popularity or something. He has to have something greater than himself that will make him attractive to females and will make females want to come to him without him actually having to work. But the average person, the average man, has to work for the woman he sleeps with. Whereas the average woman doesn't really have to do that. If it was all about sex, it would be very easy for a woman to sleep around. Which is why women, for the most part, they don't look at how many men you slept with. They look at who you slept with. You know, guys, we don't care. A guy will sleep with anybody. They will sleep with an ugly female, an average female, and a good-looking female. They will boast about the good-looking one, might boast about the average-looking one, and simply keep the ugly one under wraps. But they will sleep with anyone because they want to have that supply. Women, on the other hand, know that they can get guys fairly easily. So usually sex is not really the end for it. It's for something else. Because if it was just about sex, any woman can get it. Unless you're really, really, really ugly. But an average girl can dress nicely, go to the club, and if she wants to, she can get a man right there, right on the spot. A man cannot do that. A regular guy can't do that. Unless he has like a lot of experience dealing with women or he has a lot of game. And even then, there's no guarantee that he will get it that night. That's really the difference. So, I mean, ladies, you got to understand that it's not about sexual double standards. A lot of females that use the excuse of sexual double standard want to have their actions justified. But that's just it. It's an excuse. From a I'm talking strictly from a mathematical perspective here. I'm not going to put in politically correct BS or trying to appease a certain crowd. No, look at it for what it really is. It's about supply and demand. Something that is in large supply that exceeds the demand will not have any value or respect. Something that is in large supply but there's no demand for it will not be considered important. But something that is in limited supply but has a large demand for it will be deemed very valuable. That is why when it comes to women, there is that 10-20% of females that every guy aspires to wife up. And then the rest they just want to have sex with. Any guy in the club is there for sex. But when it comes to wifing it up, they look elsewhere. But that's a whole different topic. But that's really it. That's a simple breakdown of why there is a sexual double standard. Now, unfortunately, some people don't want to hear it. Some people feel that it should all be the same. Some people feel that, no, I don't want to be judged for it. Look, I'm not going to tell you my own personal opinion on the subject. As any guy will tell you, hey, if you're down for sex, that's cool. That doesn't mean I would wife you. And like I made a video about women that use sex as a way to get other things like emotional or financial gain. But that's a whole different topic as well. But I just felt I should make a video to clarify my position on the subject and to help you ladies understand why such sexual double standard exists. It is not sexist. It is not a form of oppression. It's simple mathematics. If you are easily available and every guy that wants a piece can get it, you won't be respected because there's a ton of guys that you can have sex with. No one cares. If you get a very good guy that every other woman wants, then you get the respect. And for guys, sex is what they want. They don't have easy access to it. So when they get it, they take it. That's how they are. What a man values in a woman if he wants to wife it up is more often than not has very little to do with looks. There are other qualities that a man wants in a woman that he wants to be with for the long run. So it's about supply and demand, people. All right, till next time.